Anthony Bourdain once said, "There's a guy in my head, and all he wants to do is lay in bed all day, smoke pot, and watch old movies and cartoons. My life is a series of stratagems to avoid and outwit that guy. Who is that guy for you, and what do you do to avoid him?" We came to an agreement, take turns occupying the same body. It's me from 5:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays, and he gets evenings, weekends, and holidays. Someone responds, "Fair compromise as long as it stays like that," I say. The poster's response to this comment, "I've been trying to negotiate some extra time in the evenings for a workout and or hobbies, but he says it will cut into his 4-hour gaming sessions. Edit, you've all given me real good advice. I think we're close to reaching an agreement." Deleted says, "I've got the same arrangement. My guy has left me a hell of a hangover to deal with this morning." A response to this comment, "Is this Black Mirror? I swear I've seen this situation before." Someone else answers, "I used to have a little sign on my desk that said, 'The worst possible feeling is when the person you are meets the person you could have been.' It was there to encourage me to pursue my goals, rather than procrastinate on games, Reddit, etc. I think it's time I dug that sign out again." Ouch. Worse than that is the Ben Franklin quote, "A man can die at 25 and not be buried until 75. This poster responds, "Man, funeral companies were hella efficient back then." Someone else responds, "I think this effed me up as much as retirement is a monetary number, not an age." Someone responds to this comment, "Not really in the spirit of the thread, but money doesn't buy happiness, it buys freedom, has always bothered me. It's true, and if you think about it, it's seriously effed on multiple levels." Another answer to the question, "That guy's kicking my ass right now." Someone says, "You gotta fight back, man. He's a lazy stoner, he can't be that good of a fighter." Another answer, "That guy's cousin lives in my head. I go to AA meetings to avoid and outwit him." Serenity, brother. Is there such a thing as Mary Jane AA meetings? I've never got more replies to a simple comment. Gotcha, there's MA and r/leaves. "I wish you strength. Alcoholism took away something very precious to me. I'm not an alcoholic, but it affected me by proxy severely. I'm doing great now. Scars are deep but healed. All that guy wants to do is do Reddit and play video games. I don't do anything to avoid him. Of course I know him. He's me. Hello there." I have the same guy, except he also loves beer and good weed. I used to not care, but after moving out and a year spent with my own vices, I'm seriously starting to burn out. I would say everyone needs time to indulge to the point that they can't handle it anymore. Now I drink less than I have since I can remember, and work out more than I ever had. Someone asked them, "Are you doing okay?" And they responded, "Yeah, I'm fine. I just use Reddit too much, lol." Might get buried, but my dude in my head is literally Mr. Spock from Star Trek. I don't avoid him. Hear me out. I discovered through therapy that I needed a mechanism for judgment-less and objective self-analysis, and Mr. Spock is that dude. He can see the most effed up space S ever and react calmly and objectively. Mr. Spock. The massive space blob has 97.454% chance of consuming the ship and everyone inside of it within 4 to 7 minutes. Projections show it'll be slow and painful. Kirk, that's horrible. Spock, yes, it is not ideal for our continued survival, but its actions are entirely within the nature of the space blob. So, whenever I get spun up on something in my head, I imagine a mini Spock in my head with a science terminal that can pull all data about me. Me, Spock, science report. Spock says, "Data shows that OP is 5.8 days from quitting smoking tobacco and is under great mental distress from the change of chemical intake. He isn't consciously aware of it, but he's attempting to make up an excuse to get gas on a half tank in order to create an opportunity to buy a pack of cigarettes." Me, "Thank you, Spock. Sounds like I'm being dishonest with myself. I suck." Spock, "I disagree. It's entirely within the nature of the nicotine addict to seek out a source of nicotine intake. This is neither good or bad, just natural. Data also suggests that conscious awareness mitigates the chance of nicotine intake by 89.45%. You've yet to procure a nicotine source as well. Commendable. Just going through that mental exercise will help knock me out of a mental spun-up state, help sort out emotions, feelings, and all that stuff into a parsed, objective, and most importantly, non-judgmental way. This is the best self-care strategy I've ever heard of. Spock care." That guy wants to settle for anything out of fear of nothing better coming later. That guy is okay with the dead-end job, the abusive relationships, and no master's degree. I tell that guy it's never gotten me anywhere. It's the definition of stuck, and I have no intention of being stuck anymore. Quote, "And I have no intention of being stuck anymore." End quote. That's what I like to hear. Keep on keeping on, man. The guy who wants to go streaking during a Super Bowl halftime show, I avoid him by remembering that prison is not a pleasant place to be. If you ever decide to do it, just don't be fully nude. Then you'll be arrested and have to register as a sex offender. Noted, I'll wear socks. I have the same exact guy in my head. I quit smoking pot years ago before I hit 30. I can still stay in bed all day on some days. What keeps me from doing it? Having a 24-hour lay-in on my laptop. Too often are commitments I've made to myself, friends, and employers. Back in the day, pot made it really easy to give up on those commitments. I miss pot, but I don't miss those times in general, which keeps me from going back. Believe you to assume I avoid him. A response to this answer: my whole life is a series of stratagems to enable that guy to spend as much time in bed watching cartoons as he can without ending up being homeless or unable to pay for weed. Another answer: I hate mornings. I don't like waking up. I don't like breakfast as a genre or activity. I don't see a good reason to be anywhere ever before 10 a.m. I started forcing myself to wake up early and go to the gym before work, and I hate it so much, but it makes me feel so damn good all day long. It's a crappy healthy dose of morning endorphins that stops me from getting sleepy after lunch, keeps me energized after work, get a better night's sleep. It sucks so much, and it sucks even more that it improves every aspect of my day, because now, if I stop, I know I'll just start having crappy days again. And it'll be because my dumb lazy butt's fault with a simple fix. A response to the answer: I hate exercise so much, and it keeps you healthy, but God, at what cost? Whenever I have had a gym membership, I get signed up with a routine, but I always end up doing an hour on a treadmill until I'm tired. Then use that as an excuse to go home. I have no upper body strength, but at least I can run for a while. On sunny days, I slap on some jogging shoes and go to the local park that is also a bird sanctuary. I play biologist, pretending I'm discovering birds in their natural habitat, and monologue to myself. I'm not out for a run. I'm playing biologist, and it's different. God, I hate running. If that works for you, great. If not, have you considered something else like rock climbing, playing a sport, or lifting weights? I loathe running too, especially on treadmills. Thankfully, exercise doesn't need to be running. I have chronic severe depression, going 25 years now. It's not completely clear what I have, but it comes and goes. Not sad, not bipolar, not MDD. We simply don't know, and medication doesn't work. However, it's never really gone. It's more like manageable or unmanageable. The voices either tell me I should lie down and just give up, or it's telling me that soon I'll be lying down and giving up. My manageable moments are obviously filled with as much joy as I can pack in there. And every night before going to bed, I tell the voice to suck it. Today was my day, not yours. When it's unmanageable and the voice tells me that I should give up, I try to fight as long as I can. And when I start to agree with him, I always manage to end it with, but not today. It's kept me alive for this long. I hope I can keep going like this for a while. So in response to this answer, I've always tended toward anxiety and panic attacks rather than depression, but I do understand what you describe here. The real me wants to make a huge buffet, host a fancy dress party for all my friends, and then write that drama I've got an idea for, but anxiety can just punch me in the stomach and pin me down and yell at me to stop doing anything because I'm ugly, deformed, stupid, and unoriginal, and nobody will hang out with me anyway, and I have to hide under a duvet cover, shaking until I can function again. A response to this: it's horrible how our mind can play these cruel games with us. I always remind myself that it really doesn't matter. In the end, everyone dies, and in the end, the solar system will blow up and memory of us will be gone. Who cares if today I make a mistake or people see it? We all try and fail. We also try and succeed. I have a tattoo that says, focus on the positive. That's what I try to do as much as possible. That guy in my head is ADHD. I probably have an extreme case where my meds, which are a high dose, hardly even work anymore. The best way to combat this urge to do something fun, play games, or goof off is to remove myself from any place of temptation. Cut it off before you even get the thought of even doing something pleasurable. What I do is find empty classrooms at my college and study or do work in there. I will purposely drive away from my home, which is full of games, food, fun, and comfort, to a classroom just so I don't get the urge, and even if I do, I've created a barrier that takes too much guilt and effort of driving back and doing something fun. A response to this answer: this got me through college. I just went in the morning and never ever came home until my workday was done. Late afternoon, early evening mostly. Being stuck on campus all day, even if I wasn't super productive, the work would get done because what else is there to do? Basically, the plan was to dick off so much that my actual work was a welcome change of pace. At home, I can dick off indefinitely without getting tired of it. And better yet, I never had to feel too bad about taking off at home because I never had any schoolwork to do there. Holy S, Anthony said that? Damn, I miss him even more now. I used to eat cheap pizza, chain smoke, and play video games. I changed a lot of those habits to healthier ones. Goddamn, I miss smoking. 6+ years smoke-free, and I still crave it as much as the day I quit. Obese is the same for me. Just over 6 years, and I could go back to a pack a day tomorrow if I was lazy. Had my last cigarette, never cheated once, as it would be a pack a day again instantly. The worst are the dreams, where I am smoking and I wake up in a panic. I let her out and I feed her once in a while. That way she lets me get on with my life. Don't you ever tame your demons, but always keep them on a leash. Arsonist Lullaby. Hosier? I accept that she exists and love her back to health. A response, in acceptance there is peace. I relate to this. The girl in my head is constantly trying to get out of doing things. Everything, like going to work, going to school, socializing, etc. Anything besides sitting at home in my chair, smoking a joint, watching some coming-of-age dramedy. I have to force myself every day to do all the stuff that being an adult human requires of me. It's hard. I think almost everyone feels this way. Closes Pornhub. I don't know what you're talking about. I figured that I might as well share about my guy. My guy hates me, and what little of a life I built for myself. The guy in me just wants me to lay in bed all day, every single day, until I age out and die. Don't even get me started on the other thing the guy wants to do to me. And yeah, it's pretty similar to Bourdain's in terms of its other cravings. To fight back, I try to listen to music that fits my emotions at the moment. I try keeping my hands busy, and luckily, I enjoy cooking. Deck building for Magic the Gathering can also help. I try to be creative and draw more. I try to exercise. I go out and tell jokes at open mics. I try to do everything that my guy doesn't want me to do. I want to be better than the guy that my guy wants me to be. He does have a grip on me most days, but I try my hardest to get out of it. RuPaul calls hers the inner saboteur. It sounds cliche, but it's so true. And that guy never really goes away. You just have to learn to stay one step ahead. Another answer? That guy wants to die, unsure how to avoid him. Copious amounts of caffeine seems to do okay. A response? Hope everything is doing okay, man. It's okay if it's not. PM if you want to. I'm no stranger to that sort of feeling. But we are both commenting here, so we certainly haven't lost yet. A response to this reach of support? You're awesome. That girl's depression. She definitely started kicking my ass now. All she wants to do is lay in bed, self-harm, and cry. I take my medications and persevere, but it's difficult. Yet that's mine exactly. Medications haven't had any effect on me, and I'm not too sure what else to try. I haven't self-harmed in months, but I'm very tempted to. I've been trying, but it's definitely an uphill battle. r/AskReddit. People of Reddit, how do you feel if there was a USA filter where non-Americans can scroll through Reddit freely without watching, hearing, or reading about what's going on in America? As an American, I would really love this feature. Non-Americans love to talk about the USA way more than we do. Sorry we were the best country on the planet, and other countries are begging for our vaccines. My wish, I could post a post without others supposing I am talking about the USA. I live in the US, but I would be all over this filter. It's called an echo chamber, and Americans have been stuck in it for years. With the inevitable net neutrality, we won't see your posts. This is what makes me proud to be an American. I'm an American and I would use it all the time. I'm European, but that's kind of cool. Do it. I love that this is one of the highest upvoted posts on the sub. And also, yes please. Yes, a Bob's free zone of the internet. Prayer hands. As an American born and raised, I am conflicted. If this filter was possible, it would destroy millions of people who depend on our freak show for entertainment. I actually enjoy adding a little spice when someone makes a remark about how terrible we are. Make them think they have it better, guys. I wish we had this option as an American. Half the shit posted doesn't have any impact on daily life. I want the opposite. As the most important country in the world, too many foreigners talk shit on the internet about America everywhere all the time. Sorry, New Zealand and Nigeria don't make the international news every day. But I don't care what you think about our politics. Just like how you don't care that I view your country as an irrelevant island full of literal sheep. But like, that's an amazing idea. Can we do it for Americans too? Lol. This makes me feel like I suck for living in America. Lol. I would use it myself and I live here. Things are too depressing lately. Not the country I grew up in. Too frantic and ignorant. Yeah, too many people like the New Zealand and Nigeria guy.
Please support me by liking and subscribing.